We're going to move on to our 9:06 a.m. item, presentation of proclamation recognizing veterans on Veteran Day, and I'm hoping that Vice Chair Crandall will join me up there. And if you are a veteran in the room, please feel free to come up to the dais to join us. I don't want to force you, but inviting
Yeah,
at
but
least.
force them. Yeah, force them. Yeah, go.
Welcome. Thank you for being here, guys. So today's proclamation is recognizing our veterans on Veterans Day. Whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining our freedoms and way of life. And whereas tens of millions of Americans have served in the armed forces of the United States during the past century. And whereas hundreds of thousands of Americans have given their lives while serving in the armed forces during the past century. And whereas our state is home to more than 1.6 million veterans, the most of any state in the nation. And whereas Lake County is home to approximately 4,500 veterans, or approximately 7% of our county's population, and which I believe makes us one of the top counties for veteran population for the per capita. Whereas our veterans are brave and selfless individuals who, when duty called, willingly put themselves in harm's way to defend the lives and liberty of others. And whereas their abiding patriotism and enduring devotion to the ideals on which the United States is founded can never fail to inspire us. And whereas our veterans understand the important task before the American service men and women now keeping watch. Now therefore be it proclaimed, the Board of Supervisors recognizes the legacy of loyalty, service, and sacrifice of our veterans to both our country and to our local communities. The Board of Supervisors honors the contributions of our veterans to the principles of democracy, individual freedom, and human rights. Let it be further proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors will join the nationwide effort Operation Greenlight in showing support for veterans by lighting our Lake County Courthouse in Lakeport green from November 4th through the 11th, 2024. By shining a green light, the County of Lake and our residents will let veterans know that they are seen, appreciated, and supported. Passed and adopted this 5th day of November, 2024 by the Board of Supervisors.
Yes, so I just take notice of another thing that I am really impressed by when it comes to Lake County is the Veterans Office that we have. There's some folks that I've talked to, friends from the past, colleagues, also my comrades from being deployed and all that, who I serve with, struggle with getting their services, their VA benefits, and I'm like, I don't know how many here have had issues with it. Most people I talk to have, they get a lot of good help from this group. So I always tell these folks, hey, you can come move to Lake County. There's some good jobs here. You could switch and become a law enforcement agent here, or officer here, and whatnot, and get some good service from the Veterans Office. So, and a lot of veterans serve. I know one that's not here. I know he's probably working. Is Vance. He helped out with the Clash Against Trash. And he just out of the blue, hey, I'll help you out, just like we did at like Fort Lewis on the back 40, so just cleaning up garbage. So anyhow, thank you all for coming and serving, and whoever wants to speak next, I think maybe the undersheriff would like to say some words.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. I'd just like to thank the board for this proclamation. It is Veterans Day. And just on that note, I'd just like to thank all veterans for your service. I think one of the best quotes I ever heard a long time ago is freedom isn't free. It is something that has to be fought for every day, not only in the military service, but law enforcement and even with the Board of Supervisors to ensure that the ideals of this country are lived up to and met. And that is the services of everything that we do for our community. So thank you.
Any other comments?
Oh, I thought EJ was running.
So what I'm going to say is that the men in uniform and women, they put on the uniform to look the same, right? So they're not looking for the recognition up here. They're serving all of you. They're serving the rest of the country. So it's probably pretty uncomfortable to come up here. If we were and we were in uniform, maybe we'd feel a little bit better. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the recognition. Though we don't like to be recognized, and I'm speaking for myself there, but I do appreciate the fact that it is recognized. So thank you all.
There is also a veterans event at Canocti Vista on Monday, starting at 10 o'clock. And so I know that it's something that happens annually. So if you're a veteran and you want to go to a celebration, they usually do the 21-gun salute and all of that at Canocti Vista starting at 10. There's a lunch and everything, so yeah.
Go ahead.
And just his last words, that's why I invited, rather than Lars is hiding from me. That's why I invited people up rather than requesting that you come up. I recognize that. But I do want to say I really appreciate that you continue to serve in a different capacity and serving your communities. I just think that's something that needs to be recognized as well. It wasn't a one-time thing. It is a continual part of your life to continue to serve, and I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and take a photo.
Thank you, guys.
Can we take some other comments? Just thank you. You know, what can you say thank you? Today may not be the day where we ultimately heal some of the things that divide our nation, but one thing that has always been a constant is the men and women who serve in our military serve the country as a whole. They also serve who stand and wait. So while we appreciate and acknowledge those who have lost their lives and have lost limbs and health in frontline service, we also have to recognize the much larger legions who have served in our military in lesser roles, not lesser roles, but in non-combat roles here on this side of the oceans. So many times we think, oh, life will never be the same. Public service is a lost art. We see in the men and women who serve in our military exactly what motivates them, and that is a commitment to service. And when we see people who have come from our military services continue to serve on the domestic front and be overrepresented in positions of leadership, including right here in Lake County, it just stands for the principle of service. And so I'm so appreciative, whether you're in active military now or if you're now serving the county in a different role as a veteran. Thank you so much for that commitment to service and commitment to our country.
I just want to say thank you. I know that's what you guys hear, but thank you to you and your families that also serve with you when you're deployed. I know how important that is. You know, there's a bunch of agencies, obviously, that, you know, make sure that our folks serving are honored with a box every once in a while. You know, you guys, all of the things that happen. But I also want to say, as a sitting up here on the diocese, it's been an honor when you get a call from a veteran to try and help them get to the services they need, but also I've been able to work, at least in District 1 throughout the county, to help with setting up mental health services, make sure that our veterans that come back that need those services have a place to meet and, you know, really talk about the experiences and the life changes that happen when you serve, because it is a sacrifice that nobody understands except for you who have been veterans. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Picture.
Come on a little bit this way, guys. Okay, thank you so much.